What's up, guys? Today, we answer the age-old question. Is it worth it to drive to a 4-hour away ProQuest? I think so. All right, so I think I'm going to try something a little bit different this time. Instead of being a talking head in a room, I'm going to use this beautiful McDonald's B-roll of my 4-hour and 15-minute one-way trip to Seattle from Spokane. So if you guys, gals, and non-binary pals have watched my first video, you'll know I've already attended one ProQuest this season. It's the end of the ProQuest Yokohama season now, and I wanted to attend more, but the allocation of ProQuest in my area were less than ideal. There were 2 or 3 ProQuests within a couple hours drive from me that were all on the same day, and I attended none of them. That's because I had already bought tickets to go to the Ren Fair with my wife on that day, and I don't think canceling pre-planned events to go play cards when we've already bought the tickets and outfits and all that stuff leads to a long marriage. So I chose my wife and the Ren Fair over ProQuests that day. That left me with one to attend in my hometown, which I did top 4 in, which was awesome for my first ProQuest. After I got kicked out of that ProQuest, I was talking to one of my buddies from the shop, and he mentioned that there was one more ProQuest that was in an air quotes reasonable distance coming up, and that was the ProQuest in Seattle at Tabletop Village, which is about 4.5 hours away. I had talked to a few people who were down to go and carpool, but they all backed out for their own valid reasons, except for Zach, aka Crash Command Games. He just makes me doubt their commitment to Sparkle Motion.
Sometimes I doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion.
Anyways, a 4-hour plus drive to any event to then turn around right after and drive back is a big ask. That's why I wanted to go with some friends, honestly, so I didn't have to drive the whole 8 hours myself in a single day and try to reach my peak flesh and blood gameplay in the middle. It just seems like a hard thing to accomplish. It was a nice drive to Seattle, and I can't really complain about that, so that was a nice little plus. It could have been really bad. But the real question that we're all here to answer is it worth it to drive 4 hours to a ProQuest? Well, if you're going to use a results-based analysis for this specific trip, the answer is no. I may have misled you at the beginning of the video. My bad. I actually got dog-walked in Seattle. I went 2-3, and I'm actually not even upset about it. My first match was versus Dio, and it's just kind of a hard matchup. I think I did okay, but I did end up losing. Second was versus Puffin. I think I cleaned that game out pretty quick and clean. Third was versus Akatsu. I 100% screwed this game up. I'm not going to get too much into the details, but when you read a card. Don't just look at the pretty little pictures, because all I paid attention to were the +1 damage to this card and not the text that said it was +1 damage for every other attack that hit. So that lost me the game. After that, I played a Fang. That was a pretty good game for me. Turned a couple bad hands into good hands and won that game. Then I got KO'd in my last match at exact damage. I literally think I played that game perfectly, and I talked to the guy afterwards, and he agreed. He just won the lottery. He gambled, and he got it off. So there's no real being mad about that. He did his thing. So I drove 4 hours. Well, 4 hours and 15 minutes or so to go 2-3, which honestly sucks. But I had fun. I don't think I made too many mistakes. I just think it wasn't really my day, and that happens. I was able to trade some cards to finish my playset of the EA Swing Bigs from this season's PQ, so I can throw them in my RKO deck. But I think if you're asking, is it worth it to drive multiple hours to attend a ProQuest, I'd say yeah. If I didn't go, I would have just wondered what would have happened if I made it. Would I have top 4'd? Would I won the whole thing? But now I just know I suck. I had fun, and that's really all that matters. I honestly thought that going into this, that if I got smoked, which I did, I would be so salty on the way home. But I was actually at peace. I went to a city I've only been to one other time, ate some good pho, played some Fab, met some cool people that I played against, and got to listen to my audiobook on the way home like the old man that I am. I'm not an everything's sunny and the stars are always shining bright kind of guy, but I think if you want to make a trip to compete in an event, do it. Just try to not base your opinion on if it was a good trip on whether or not you won. Well, that's it for this video. I'm Robert, and this has been No Blocks. Catch you on the next one.